Use your scope ability to see in the dark and to place blocks at a long distance with pinpoint accuracy. Unleash a powerful barrage of punches and other explosive attacks. Leap on walls, brace your falls. And of course, stop time. Everything around you goes completely still, even the rain. Introducing Star Platinum, a simple but extremely versatile stand which covers just about everything. It helps you build, it helps you mine, it helps your movement, it makes you strong in combat, and it just has a bunch of general utility. Star Platinum will do your taxes. Now, first and foremost, as a humanoid stand, Star Platinum replaces your attacking and blocking while equipped. As one of the first stands added to Roundabout, it pretty much defined how this even works. Pressing or holding left click throws out a punch combo, and the third hit can even briefly disable shields. When a mob is in punch range, you get a little indicator in the middle of the screen. Just a little quality of life thing to see that you can hit the mob. If you commit to 3 punches, you have a little bit of downtime which you can fill with your other moves or even just despawn your stand and hit with your sword. But if you pull your punches, your punch combo recharges faster, so you can do 1-2, 1-2. Holding right click blocks in the exact same way that a Minecraft shield does, blocking almost all incoming damage, but with some key differences. It starts guarding faster from the moment you put it up, so you can block creeper explosions more consistently, for instance. And rather than running on durability with a weakness to axe spamming, it has a meter which goes down before it breaks and needs to be recharged. So if mobs hit you a ton, they can knock down your guard. So there are some trade-offs for both options that you should consider. If you left click while blocking, you begin charging a stand rush, or stand barrage, a powerful attack that decimates the health of your opponent and sends them flying when it ends. I even made mobs not die until the final hit just for that cinematic finisher. Barrages also do a small amount of collateral damage to other nearby mobs. They can be interrupted pretty easily, making it hard to pull off under certain circumstances, and that's because I didn't want to hold back on making this attack powerful. Just like in the series, it's practically a finishing move that ends a fight. And if someone starts barraging while being barraged, or 2 barrages collide, a barrage clash begins. It's like a little quick time event. It works exactly like a horse jump, so you have to hold and release spacebar. Whoever gets the higher meter wins, and deals damage to the opponent. But if both players happen to tie, you both get knocked back peacefully. In terms of barraging, Star Platinum in particular can also crouch to use a kick variation, which is faster to charge but doesn't block opponents into the attack. Pressing Z will also detach Star Platinum for you, making it travel in a straight line with a forward barrage, based on Jotaro's Shark Beatdown. If you left click while sneaking, Star Platinum can administer its deadly final attack that it finishes Dio with, which absolutely sends mobs flying. It's stronger the longer you charge it up, and slows you down while charging. If you want to mix things up, you can also press Z to use Star Finger, a powerful attack with a longer range that penetrates all defenses. Left clicking before it finishes charging makes it fire off early. This version is weaker. This is very important because getting hurt cancels your attack, so be smart and don't get too greedy with it. In a similar vein, crouching and pressing Z uses the Impale ability, like when Jotaro impaled Dio. It's an especially deadly move that's hard to land, and it can be fired off early for the weak Star Blitz. While blocking, pressing Z makes Star Platinum enter Scope mode. Scoping lets you see in the dark, so if you're in a cave, you can easily spot ores. It also lets you see really, really far away. It has 3 scope levels which zoom in further and further. And while you're scoping, Star Platinum can even grab some incoming projectiles and throw them back at enemies. So it's an excellent way to deal with skeletons. Pressing X while facing a block performs block grab. You can pick up and throw blocks by left clicking, or pocket them into your inventory by right clicking. In adventure mode or with stand griefing off, it picks up a fake copy of the block instead that cannot be pocketed. The harder the block you pick up is, the harder it hits when you throw it. So obsidian does way more damage than dirt. You can also use Star Platinum as a building tool to remotely place blocks you throw throw. And funnily enough, Star Platinum's throw has pinpoint accuracy, so if you scope, you can throw a block far away and know exactly where it will be placed. This has some amazing applications. If you crouch, the block throw turns into an item throw, letting you throw a bigger variety of blocks, including torches which you can remotely place while exploring caves thanks to the item throw, or even anvils which deal the most damage. Certain items even have unique interactions when thrown. You can throw music discs directly into jukeboxes, die sheep, use name tags, plant bone meal, or even launch projectiles without needing a bow. You can also throw your weapons to use them with increased power, at the expense of needing to be picked up. Throwing iron nuggets or diamonds will make the ball-bearing shot sound effect from the show. There are tons of little interactions, but I'll let you figure out the rest yourself. If you stand next to a mob, you'll notice that the block grab changes into the mob grab. Basically, you can use your stand to pick up and transport mobs. This is immediately useful for moving animals around, or just throwing enemies away to create more distance. If you sneak while throwing, you perform a grab attack based on Star Platinum's Judgment scene, and simplified for snappier gameplay. Throwing smaller animals causes them to spin and deal collision damage. You can absolutely throw the dog. Blocking and pressing X performs phase grab, which lets your stand go through certain blocks like iron bars. It picks up items on the ground and primes them to be thrown. It can also be used to open doors and press buttons from afar. Like every stand and power in the mod, Star Platinum enables you to dash with C. But while crouching, you can also perform a stand jump or stand leap. There's no official name for it, believe it or not. This lets you gain a lot of distance, but it's better for jumping up than jumping sideways. And if you do it against a wall and press C, you can perform rebound leaps, which are like wall jumps. While leaping, you have this little feather icon above your EXP bar and are immune to fall damage briefly. It's worth noting that leaps have a relatively big cooldown because it's not supposed to replace normal movement and travel in the game. Roundabout tries to feel balanced and vanilla. While jumping normally, if you aim at a ledge, Star Platinum can perform a ledge grab which boosts you up onto it. And my personal favorite movement feature, when you're falling you can press C to perform a fall brace, which enables your stand to resist a high amount of fall damage. So if you react quick enough to falling down a pit, you can save yourself. If you use all of these tools together, moving around the game feels extremely smooth and natural without being terribly overpowered. Blocking and pressing C performs Inhale, which lets you pick up larger groups of items and EXP from the ground. It also slightly tugs on mobs, and even can extinguish a Justice user if they're not careful enough. If you hold left click while facing the ground, and not holding a mining tool, Star Platinum becomes your mining tool. While it only breaks blocks at fist level so you won't be picking up a ton of stone, it breaks blocks extremely fast, so if you're ever stuck underground with no wood, you can easily dig your way back up. If you crouch, this ability does not break ores, so you can more easily strip mine. This is a fundamental humanoid stand ability, so other stands like Soft and Wet can also mine. Pressing V charges Star Platinum's most powerful ability, its ability to stop time. I spent over a month on Time Stop alone, to make sure that it creates this perfect feeling of stillness. Time Stop freezes all blocks, mobs, tile entities like furnaces, and even ambient effects like rain, in a 100 block radius. There are so many little details in this, like for instance, if a chest is closing and you stop time, the chest will stop, but if you interact with the chest, you resume time on the chest, and the chest begins to open normally. That's the level of detail that I put into this. In stopped time, fire doesn't even tick on you. All particles created before time stop begin to freeze up, and the sounds previously in the world disappear to create a sense of perfect stillness. In the world of stopped time, even gravity is suspended, so you can float by holding space and take 0 fall damage. Mobs attacked in stop time glow white to signify how much of their max health you chip into with your attacks, so when they stop glowing white, they're basically cooked. When time resumes, all the damage happens at once. Boom! Players have a damage cap by default, so you can't win fights by just pressing the V key, but you can kill mobs all the way. Projectiles thrown or shot out during a time stop slow to a stop, and when time resumes they continue moving. This creates the effect of knives surrounding mobs. Note that you have to commit to either knives or attacks, because when time resumes the built-up damage hits them and puts them in invincibility frames. You can hit them with a maximum of 12 knives at once. You can also move mobs around during time stop with mob grabs, so you can essentially replicate the staircase scene in part 3. Bear in mind that floating drops the mob you're holding. While charging up time stop, you can be interrupted, but you can also press V again to use it early and have less seconds. If you crouch and press V, you can perform an impulse time stop, which is just a hotkey for pressing time stop twice. Pressing V during a time stop ends it, and doing actions like eating or attacking makes your cooldown longer. Spending more time in the time stop also makes your cooldown longer. So that's just a little incentive to do only the things you need to do, and to make it as snappy as possible for the fastest recharge. Because let's be honest, nobody likes standing still, so in player versus player fights, you don't want this spammed on you. And you're also not allowed to place scummy things like lava during stopped time. So yeah, I spent an enormous amount of time nailing the balancing and game feel of time stop, and I put so much effort into these little details. I hope you enjoy it. Lastly, Star Platinum's version of time stop has a special property. When it's fully charged, your attacks do more damage. Basically, time stop normally reduces the damage of your individual attacks to make you spend a little more time hitting mobs, but Star Platinum in particular bypasses that with a full charge. Star Platinum has a myriad of skins, being the popular stand that it is. The community submitted a skin for basically every piece of official artwork the stand has. The baseball skin pulls out its bat when it uses the final attack. Some skins like the arcade and OVA ones change its sound effects too. Its secret skin is Star Platinum Atomic from my JoJo Vein stand mod. You can unlock it by inhaling lit TNT with the inhale ability. Its final attack has an explosive feel. So that's Star Platinum, a simple stand with a lot of depth. If you like how it turned out, like, comment, and even, I dare say, subscribe. That will help Roundabout gain more exposure and more traction, and I would greatly appreciate the support. We have a Discord server in the description if you want to join our fun little community and grab a stand disc roll. All throughout Roundabout's development, I've gotten comments about people feeling a JoJo mod needs an upwards of 30 stands to be fun, but I really don't understand this sentiment. My approach going into making Roundabout was, instead of pumping out a dozen stands with 5 or 6 abilities, add one stand at a time with 5 or 6 dozen abilities, or a few abilities that radically change how you play the game. So main stands are complex mods in themselves that justify an entire playthrough of Minecraft without feeling the need to switch discs. I believe that this level of care and commitment to the source material is Roundabout's secret ingredient. And I really just want to make something that makes people happy. So with that being said, have a wonderful day and take care.